understand why we're having the problems we're having right now, right? It is because of the way that people are talking. The way that people are talking, the way that the left and the college kids, the way they talk, this is what you get. Now, I want you to see, this is from Morning Joe. I mean, aside from the silliness of the topic, I want you to see two people can sit next to each other. They can say diametrically opposing things, but because they slam the same people, nobody seems to recognize that they have just contradicted each other. First person is going to be the chief, the Washington bureau chief of USA Today, Susan Page. And then New York Times reporter Jeremy Peters is going to explain what's going on.
Susan.
You know, the trouble with throwing around a word like fascist to people who don't deserve it is that if you meet an actual fascist, you have watered down the power of that word. Words matter.
Mm-hmm. Words do matter. Just think about the way that we now, people on college campuses, and a lot of times talk about speech as a form of aggression. That term microaggression, that you are actually wounding someone. It's just it's totally changed the way that we interact with one another, and really, I think, made wusses out of our college kids.
Well, pause it now. Okay, so let me just get this straight. Susan Page says words matter. If you meet an actual fascist and you've already used the word fascist, it's not going to have the power to stop that fascist this time. Meanwhile, then the guy says, that's right, words do matter. And we should actually not even think that words have the power to hurt people on campus. And if they say that it does, they're wusses. So according to Susan Page, you want to keep your powder dry on the word fascist, because then when you bring it out, it obliterates them. But when you start to denigrate people who don't have the power in society, you're a wussy if you have a problem with it. And that no awareness that they have just said the complete opposite thing, because they are both self-satisfied in that they've been able to attack the same people. College kids.
Well, words matter when you're using them on people they like.
Right. Unbelievable. No better example of how much full of shit people like this are.
One word did jump out: wusses.
We're turning our college kids into wussies. With all due respect, Jeremy Peters, I'm very curious about how tough this guy was in college.
Yeah, he looked
super tough.
The way he sort of stared blankly into space, where he made the most banal comment ever, was very
Beta Tom Cotton.
It was
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, it isn't to say. I think, I don't know. It's a whole other. It's I don't think that the approach of shouting down speakers is smart or strategic at all. But partially, it's not smart and strategic because it gives fuel to this sort of dumb content, which has become a.
It gives them the clip to play to talk about that morning.
Exactly. It gives them the clip to play. This SJW cottage industry.
But the idea that it rises in this day and age. I mean, look. As someone who's in the news, the news business,
you guess.
and I look at sort of the editorial decisions I have to make on a daily basis. The idea that some college kids protesting,
not a 19-year-old having an emotional breakdown while some mediocre hack talks to them about gender roles at some place in Oregon.
That
doesn't strike you as more
hit my radar.
Every day
we
we literally don't even talk, not because we don't want to, but every day the fact that both Russia and the United States are putting trillions of dollars into updating their nuclear arsenals. We don't get to that. So somehow the campus
here's the thing.
Hasn't made it to the top of our radar either.
Half of our business model is about doing petty shit.
Yeah.
And we still can't get to that because there's so much stuff. But at the New York Times, apparently, this is the harbinger of the problems, the wussification of college students.
And not for nothing, I mean, you just said it. very succinctly, most of these people are bad faith hypocrites. I mean, just to use one more example, Barry Weiss, who recently wrote a column on
this is what
same
that segment
topic
was about,
that's
actually.
been talked about for 20 years in the exact same way by the exact same people. She spent her college career trying to get professors fired for criticizing Israel. So
No, that supports
Well,
free.
that's not
totally
that's not
different.
wussification.
I don't
That's
know.
Maccabean in their.
Hezbollah is never wussification at all.
freedom of speech
Barry
seems
Weiss,
very contingent.
Barry
for them.
Weiss is like made to be some type of like object of like masturbation for Bill Maher. Like, where the hell did she come from? She's like the 30-year-old that's willing to be like, me too. How about me not? But at the same time, we do need to have apartheid in the Middle East.
There's an endless
What a-
supply of money for those people.
Yeah, I know.
There always will be.
Mediocrity rises. I do want to say she did nail it. I don't know much about Barry Weiss, but I did notice that she made the correct point that Louis Farrakhan is a very big influence on people like me. So I do want to give her that.